Hi, Maanvi. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Maanvi, just 2 minutes. Just quickly check the audio. You can hear me properly.
Yes. Can
You can
you?
see me. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I can see you, hear you, everything.
How's it going?
Surprisingly well, yeah. I'm except for these promotions things. That's keeping me busy, but everything else is perfect.
तो जब क्वारंटीन शुरू हुआ और लोगों को घर में रहना पड़ा, stay home is the motto which everyone is following. What is it
Yeah.
that actually, and especially after the lockdown, मैं दिल्ली में हूँ, आप मुंबई में हैं, दिल्ली में आज लॉकडाउन एक्सटेंशन की बात हुई, and to me it's one of the best decisions because ये जो 21 दिन का लॉकडाउन था, ये अगर एक्सटेंड नहीं होता तो जो कुछ हमने अचीव किया है इन 21 days में, all would have gone down to naught. So, what do you have to say about something like such a decision by, not just state governments, by the central government, so to speak, to actually curb the spread of coronavirus? We are living in a very, very sad time right now. But सबसे पहले क्योंकि ये news अभी आई है, तो इसके बारे में बात शुरू करते हैं, and then we'll continue. I can see that you are here with your cup of coffee, like that,
Yeah.
coffee time with Griha. Chai.
So yeah, tea. So, no, I do obviously agree with the extension, and that needed to happen. I feel because we haven't still completely. I think even post the extension, even after that, when it lifts, we will have to kind of be a lot more careful. I mean, they'll have to open in like they're speaking about anyway, opening it in different grades and in restricted ways. So I think that is important because even then, even if it lifts post the extension, and then suddenly everybody will be out on the roads, and we can't have all public transport and everything. So I think it's a great decision to just to monitor and once and for all get rid of this, and then we can go back to normal life.
And also, the industry has been very, very responsible. Even whether it is advocating for people to stay at home or otherwise doing their own bit. You guys are social media influencers. You have come out on social media, advocated that it's very, very important to stay home. तो आप लोगों का रोल और भी ज़्यादा important हो जाता है because of that's okay. So so that's why it's also more needed, people who are youth icons like yourself to actually advocate this thing so that people stay at home. क्योंकि सब लोग घर में रह रहे हैं. I believe you stay alone.
Yes, I do stay alone.
How's it going on for you?
No, it gets overwhelming at times because, and especially now with the promotions, what's happening is there's work through the day, which are the interviews and lives, and then there's also household work. And like I remember 2 days ago or something, I had a really an overwhelming day because I had interviews all day. I didn't even have time to make food for myself. I did try while I was on my phone. I tried to make an omelette and that got burnt. And then and I was just like, yeah. And then I couldn't eat anything the whole day. And I got done by all the interviews. Everything was done by around 9 in the evening, night. And then I was hungry. I was starving. And then I realized that I'll have to cook food to be able to eat it. And then I just started crying. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. But those are like very few days. Like I think I have not even once a week, once in 10, 12 days, I'll have like a bit of a bad day. But on the whole, it's going fine. And on the whole, I think it's actually, strangely enough, I've become more disciplined in the sense that I'm working out and I'm eating. Because I'm cooking and eating, so it's all ghar ka khana. I'm not ordering from anywhere. And again, because I'm not a very good cook, so I'm also like ending up eating a lot of fruits and stuff, which are easily available and easily. I mean, you don't have to do anything to them. So things like that. I've somehow become more disciplined, and of course, because the household chores keep you busy, and they're all, you feel like you're in charge, and like you're cleaning everything your way and stuff. So yeah, overall, it's kind of also very empowering because like I have never felt so self-sufficient. Like I'm doing everything on my own, and I've never felt so self-sufficient, and that for me is an interesting feeling to have. But yeah, every now and then I'll have like I remember my first meltdown was when the stories of the migrant workers was coming in, and there was this one news piece with Barkha she'd done an interview with one of the daily wage laborers, and I saw that, and I just like I started crying, and I was like feeling really helpless, and then I was spiraling, and then I called a few friends, and they kind of calmed me down and like, relax, just it'll be okay, and they started sending me some positive news. So it's also very important to know when to step back from social media. You know, I mean, as lovely as social media is, and I do think it is, and in times like these, it's kind of holding us together. But I also feel that it's important to know when to switch off from that.
You know, and I can vouch for this thing, Maanvi, because you are not just saying it for the heck of saying it, because you are kind of practicing what you're preaching right now. Because I have, jab se hamari baatein shuru hui hain, I've been noticing that you only tend to come online or probably, you know, do your bit on social media post 3. That is the first half is, you know, solely for yourself, and you probably invest your time, you know, at your house. So has it made you more regimented? If I have to actually just crisply put this question,
It has. It really has. That's what I'm saying, because somehow there's a routine that's come in, because there are certain things you you have to do. Like you have to do bartan. Like you can procrastinate it one day, you can maybe even skip it the next day, but by third day it starts getting annoying. You know, just the mess. So you have, and if no one else is going to do it for you. Similarly for cooking, for cleaning, cooking of course is happening every day because there's again no other option. So yeah, and also things like working out and all. What I feel is happening with me is that earlier I would always find an excuse to skip a workout. You know, there would always be things like, I have to go here, na abhi mujhe idhar jana hai, time nahi hai. You know, I'll tell my trainer that अच्छा सुबह करते हैं, शाम को नहीं हो सकते, things like that. But right now the thing is you don't have excuses, because time is not an issue anymore. You can even work out at 3 in the morning if you feel like. So right. You know, I mean, yeah, if you're up for it, why not work? You can do a workout at like in the night.
कोई lazing वगैरह कुछ नहीं हो सकता. There is no laziness. You'd have to do everything on your own. So what have you realized?
My one lazy cheese that hasn't left me is that I can't wake up early. So yeah, which is why I don't do this. Like my first half, I wake up late. I wake up aaram se. Then I'll get up. I'll do a workout. I'll make my breakfast. I'll sit at the window and eat aaram se. You know, there's no rush. I don't have to be anywhere. And then I kind of like start my day and finish some chores or whatever, and then I'm ready. And that's why the 3 o'clock rule. Once I'm ready and everything to start my day, then it starts. Like then.
No, but that's really good, yeah, Maanvi, because एक बार आप social media पे चले गए, so it tends to be very addictive, because you tend to know अच्छा इसने क्या किया, you know, what has this person tweeted, or what has this person.
One thing leads to another and another, then you can just keep. And there's so much, like especially with COVID, there's so much information, right? I mean, which is a good thing. So I think it's important to know, like keep 1 or 2 accounts or 1 or 2 news handles or whatever it is that you're following. 1 or 2, 3 accounts. Follow them religiously if you must. And but ye nahi ki everything on corona sab pad rahe ho, you know, because then it just like then somewhere it'll take a toll. Like it takes a toll on you, I think.
I just got a very interesting comment. Somebody said before workout, smoke weed. All that sort of stuff is happening. So what have you realized out of all the household chores that you do? What have you self adulation mein agar kaha jaye, so what do you think you have tend to be really good at, or really good at? Probably once even your house help arrives, you can do that chore better than her or him.
I was actually I hate doing dishes. I hate doing dishes. Okay, so in fact, I remember the first time I was doing it, I was making a video, and I was talking to my parents on video call, and I was showing them, and they're like, listen, do it later, we can't hear you, I mean over the sound of the bartan. And I'm like, no, I want you to see that your daughter is doing her own dishes. And we were all laughing about it. So but only yesterday when I was doing the dishes, while doing it, I had this thought that, when my Didi comes, like my help, when she comes, she'll actually I want her to look at the bartan and be like, arey wah, you've actually made me. That's the validation that I'm looking for once the lockdown is lifted.
Oh, that's the best thing. And what do you intend to continue doing despite all this, the normalized?
No. But what I think cooking, I guess, because cooking is like, so cooking I don't really enjoy. I'm very moody when it comes to cooking. Like if I suddenly feel like cooking and I want to, and you know, there are times when I feel like cooking and I want to do it well, and you know, I'll follow a recipe and add different things, whatever. Then I'm excited. But there are times when I'm not. So I think maybe I'll continue with cooking, if at all.
Okay. And what do
Or
you think बहुत अच्छा you make? What do you think according to you? अभी तक तो you must have tasted your own food and maybe your mom.
yeah. No, my own only. Mom say I'll take a very rough recipe. कि मुझे बस
Recipe
steps
tips हाँ.
बता दो जल्दी से जल्दी से, you know, and you know whatever things like that. I think I make eggs really well. Like I make excellent scrambled eggs and omelette, and that's that's the one thing that I have mastered. And what else? बाकी मैंने सब्जी बनाना सीख लिया है, which is something I never knew. Like I used to, even earlier when I would cook, I would only cook like I would end up cooking like exotic stuff. Like you know this dal chawal sabzi मैंने कभी नहीं बनाई थी. I'd made pasta. I'd made like this one Bengali fish I had made once. So that like you know these slightly exotic things, but normal everyday sabzi dal I hadn't made. So वो मैंने सब्जी बनाई उस दिन, and that I was very happy with. And I was actually calling up my mom and telling her that you know अच्छी बन गई surprisingly. Like I was also surprised. And you learn. I think you learn. The first time you make it, it's horrible. Then you know what went wrong. Then you make it again. And yeah.
And that's pretty much happening to all of us because you know पहले कुछ दिन तो all of us felt कि oh what is really happening with us. We took our own time to actually settle down कि अच्छा घर पे रहना है. Then you start actually regimenting yourself and then doing your
मेरा
probably
उल्टा हुआ था.
segmentized. हाँ.
मेरा उल्टा हुआ था. So
अच्छा.
when I started, when the lockdown, and like I think 2 or 3 days before the lockdown only we started, like my friends and I, we kind of started self-isolating and staying at home and stuff. So I remember first few days I was very excited. I was like, you know, I've got time, you know, and I was looking for this time. I needed this time. Like I just needed time where there's no mental pressure of कि 2 दिन में shoot start हो रही है या अगले हफ्ते से promotions है, or you know there was no such thing. अभी it's just time. So initial first 2-3 days I was very excited, very happy, very looking forward. Then I told you that Balkha, like you know that incident that happened. After that I was a little like, you know, it took me 1 or 2 days to get out of that. Then I went into this regimented or whatever, this slight routine of because I realized that okay, this can't ऐसे नहीं चल सकता ये, you know, छुट्टी नहीं है मानवी, like you know you have to kind of make use of this also. So then that started, and now it's on a routine. Now I'm worried how will I ever get used to the normal world because I'm quite active for a long time.
And everybody has gotten used to working from home. All of us are working from home, yeah, and we realized कि अच्छा अब तो घर से काम हो सकता है, क्या जरूरत है ऑफिस जाने की?
Yeah. So you know, like there's that joke now that earlier they used to say that a lot of times you realize you go into a meeting and you realize it could have been a mail. So now people are saying a lot of times you read a mail and you realize it could have been a voice note. So that's the quarantine version of this joke.
Exactly. अच्छा तो ये जो लॉकडाउन फेज है उसमें challenges बहुत ज्यादा आ रहे हैं, right? So there's a 21 day ये challenge, 21 day वो challenge. If somebody is giving you any challenge or dare, or have you actually indulged in any of those little challenges with your friends?
No, so not I haven't done the 21 day workout challenge, nor have I done the t-shirt challenge, you know, where you're in Shirshasana and wearing a t-shirt. All those things I haven't done, nothing physical. I've done those, you know, very simple, fun challenges like Antakshari ho gayi, virtual Antakshari people were playing the other day. So, you know, yeah, so that I've done. Then there's that bingo template that comes and you have to check all the things that you've done. So those simple things that don't require too much of your time or effort, those things I've done.
Done. न से गाना गाओ चलो मानवी. No, we are talking about Antakshari. Why not have a little Antakshari session? We are in the times of Corona.
I can't sing. नहीं आता मुझे गा. I'm not singing. I can say the word.
That's really strange. You know what? अगर मैं पता नहीं, I was reading it somewhere कि Antakshari वगैरह, Antakshari, Ludo and all these oldie, you know, old classic stuffs everyone is doing. So कोई भी अगर माँ से गाना होता है, इतने सारे गाने हो गए हैं and people go back to माइनी माई मुंडे पे
Oh my God. So, you know, we have our Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan team. We have a group. Okay. So yesterday we were playing Antakshari on the group in voice notes. And and everybody, I realized everybody, I think, because अब अभी जो गाने हैं उनके आपको याद नहीं रहते lyrics, you know. So it's the old, like whatever late 90s and whatever. So मैं DDLJ के गाने गा रही हूँ, कुछ होता है के गाने गा रही हूँ, and all the other, like Manu Bhai, Neena Ma'am, Sweeta ji, they're all singing पुराने गाने, and I haven't even heard these songs. I'm like, what are these songs? But it was great fun. Like we were just essay, and then I wrote also on the group कि हम कितने वेले हैं यार. You know, we just the whole day. There have been, like, at one point, I wasn't, like, I was in some interview or something. So when I went back to my phone, there were like 46 voice notes. And sabka ek. So I went straight to the last one ki bhai mujhe kisse gaana hai. You know, so I don't know. Yeah. So things like that. It's fun. If people are finding newer ways of keeping busy and, you know, just staying connected. It's cute.
And it's also very fascinating, you know, Maanvi, because people are actually realizing the importance of the simple times that were there back then. All of us are 90s kids. I mean, we still remember the importance of the cassette era and the CDs. That's why we remember the songs. Because I still remember how much of an effort was कि अरे मुझे वो दिल तो पागल है का cassette मिल गया, and I used to flaunt it to the entire colony, गाने बजा के कि अच्छा, see, I have Shah Rukh Khan's नए film का गाना and all that. So, you know, gone are the days because everything is so easily available. The internet is, you know, out there. So obviously, this is the time to actually look back on the old ways and, you know, probably experience some bit of it. And also spend more time with family.
Yeah, I'm not getting to do that, except like more video calls and voice calls. But what is happening is, which is very interesting, that even with my friends, I was discussing with some of my friends that, you know, usually when we hang out, we'll just sit in somebody's house, we'll watch a film or watch some series, we'll talk a little, and then like we go to our respective homes. But now, because we're on the phone or video call or whatever, we're actually talking. Like, you know, there's actual, like, we're telling each other what's happening or whatever, our views on things and stuff, which is very interesting. So there's actual conversation that's happening. Initially I also felt when the lockdown was announced that I was like, you know, meri life to same hi hai. Like, I like staying at home. I like my own space and everything. So I was feeling like, you know, I'm not doing much. My life hasn't changed much, you know. So I was quite, except of course, like movement is restricted completely, but otherwise I'm quite peaceful and also, like, when you were talking about 90s and all of those things, I was thinking that there's also you know, because we don't have pictures to post now, so everybody's doing throwbacks and nostalgia and, you know, all of those things. That's also a trend nowadays.
Actually, it's really fascinating. So I was also mentioning about the dare bit and the challenges. If I had to actually dare you to talk about the messiest corner of your house right now, because सब कुछ खुद से करना पड़ रहा है, कुछ ना कुछ तो रह जाता होगा, which you think that अच्छा इसको मैं एक हफ्ते के बाद I'll probably touch and sort it out. What would that corner be?
I will tell you. So because washing clothes is also a bit of a chore. So what's happened is, I'm only washing the smaller clothes. Okay, like इतने कपड़े तो है कि निकल जाएंगे. Like, I'll always end up wearing whatever. So my bed right now is my bedroom. I won't show you, but my bedroom right now is my entire cupboard. All my clothes are on the bed.
Where are you sleeping?
In the living room. In the living room, while watching TV at night. So and actually it's been like this for a while. Like, it's been in my bedroom, and wardrobe was something I've been looking to kind of find time and clear. And it's only gotten worse because मुझे अब क्या हो गया ना, like, now I have to do other things like झाड़ू पोछा, like बर्तन, like कपड़े, and, you know, those things, dusting and all. So I'm not, this I feel कि ये तो बाद में भी हो सकता है, ये तो कभी भी हो सकता है, and उस चक्कर में I'm just going on postponing it and haven't and in fact my friends keep telling me, listen, you know, so they've been asking me to let them come home and clean it for me, but I was like, you can't, guys,
Probably lockdown के बाद mask पहन के आना, I would let you clean the house.
And no, that's the problem. I don't like people touching my stuff also now. Otherwise, my hair or, you know, like my mom, when she comes, she's very like, I'll clean your cupboard, I'll set your cupboard, and I'm like, no, don't touch it, don't touch anything. So OCD नहीं है, but I feel like my mess is my mess. Like, you know, I know in my mess what is where. Like, हाँ, you know, मुझे मतलब बहुत there'll be a pile of stuff also, but I will know कि वो blue t-shirt ना उसके नीचे यहाँ पे निकाल के वहाँ पे मिल जाएगी. So that people find quite amazing, but yeah.
Okay, so I've been getting requests, obviously, about 4 more shots, please. The fact that the second season is going to be out in just a couple of days from now. So everybody is really excited. Pehla season bhi bahut hi well received tha. So getting back with the girls, you know, that camaraderie shows, that friendship shows. How was the whole experience, and what is it that you're actually looking forward? Because this will be a completely different sort of a release altogether. You know, you don't get to meet them. Everything is virtual, even the interviews or let's say a premiere, everything is virtual. What are you looking forward to with this second season of 4 More Shots, please?
No, so in general, there's a lot of excitement, like even amongst us, because most of us haven't seen we haven't seen much of the show of season 2. I've seen a few scenes, and I think most of us have seen 1 or 2 scenes during dubbing. And then, of course, we saw the trailer. So we're really dying to kind of see how it's shaped up and stuff. Usually by this time, we would have seen at least the first episode or, you know, a few other episodes or something. But because we're not meeting and there aren't any screenings as such, so we're at home and we're like, I'm literally counting days to 17th April. And yeah, there's a lot of excitement. I also think in terms of this Ghar Se promotions wala thing, it's interesting. Like, we'll always remember it, you know, like, so there are obviously positives and negatives in the sense that for example, I think I can speak for myself. I love dressing up and, like, you know, going for these promotional events and deciding what to wear, what hair and makeup, what look. But it can also get very hectic. Like, it's because there's so much going on. There's so much coordination. यहाँ जाना है, वहाँ जाना है, उसको बुलाओ, क्या hair करने, क्या you know, all of that. There's a lot of that going on. So that I'm happy is not happening. I mean, that way I'm happy कि I'm घर पे बैठी हूँ, you know, अपना makeup करना है. नहीं करना है, नहीं करो, you know, आराम से जो भी, you know, so it's far more relaxed and far more like mentally whatever. But at the same time, अब जैसे all these interviews, they're also what ends up happening is because we're all thinking that घर पे ही तो बैठे हैं तो कर लेते हैं, and you know, वो एक के बाद it becomes a lot.
Yeah.
So there's plus minus. I'm actually quite enjoying this because it's novel. Like, we haven't done this before. So it's quite refreshing. Yeah.
Like the coronavirus. I have a lot of questions that are coming in. I just see this friend of mine, Nupur, has just asked you, will we get to see a drastic change in Siddhi from season 1 to season 2?
So, yes, like of course she's the same person as like she is the same person, but so we're basically starting off from where we left off in season 1. So because of what happened in season 1, she's like, as a reaction to it, she's gone to the other extreme, and she's still kind of trying to figure out what it is she wants from life. She's on a journey of self-discovery. She's trying different things. She's failing. She's succeeding. There's a lot of that. And then somewhere towards the end of the season, she finds something which is giving her some sort of grounding, and then we see what happens after that.
You know, I always wanted to ask you this, Maanvi, whether all your, you know, associations, especially the performances that you've been associated to with right from Dhoom Machao Dhoom, they have been, you know, sort of marquee performances in itself. And with Siddhi's character, you're also giving a lot of, you know, a lot of motivation to a lot of people. Your character talks a lot about body positivity. And your roles have been such, you know, there was a time in the film industry and also in the television industry where, you know, certain roles for, you know, not probably the classic looking, beautiful, probably hourglass figure girls were restricted to those little niche sort of heroines. Otherwise, you used to get the character parts. You know, you had a role for, let's say, a plum girl. You were typecasted like that. But this time, it's not like that. And, you know, even the filmmakers and the people, the content creators are very, very, you know, they're very out there to actually not let an actor be typecast in a sort of role. And you yourself are very conscious of the kind of content and the kind of roles and associations that you're doing. Speaks a lot about that as well.
So I think in general, what what happens is, I mean, the body shaming, body positivity, representation, diversity. These are things. These are terms that have come into our universe only in the last 4-5 years. So उससे पहले हम कहाँ बात करते थे इन सब चीजों की. So now because we are talking about these things, automatically, and web being a contemporary medium, it is new, so it will be more contemporary than all the other mediums. So the stories that are being told are more contemporary. The issues and the topics that we discuss are more contemporary. The language that the characters speak is like ours. The people are like us. So the content automatically is more relatable by virtue of just the medium being what it is. And it's also like, I think web also targets like your 15 to 40, 45 age group. And then of course there's spillover or whatever. So they are the most woke and the most aware age group if we were to divide it demographically like that. So that's one. Second, I also feel, the problem is not that I mean, at least for me, when I faced this problem of being typecast in a certain type of role or whatever, so the problem for me was never that I was getting that role only. The problem for me was that they wanted me to always play it the same. Okay. Like for them, firstly, I mean, yes, what you said, that a person like me, they would only slot in a bubbly, friend character kind of a thing. And in addition, they wanted it to be a particular way only. There was no depth. It was never written with a lot of depth. It was always just there to kind of fill a frame and, things like that. There wasn't much for her to do. And always do it the same way. And I was beginning to get bored. Like I had only started getting bored of the way I was playing it, because I was like, I can do this in my sleep now. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So that's how I had also stopped kind of going for these auditions and tests or meetings. And then pictures happened, and that kind of changed the game for me. And I think in general, digital content in India.
Oh yeah, it has been a really brilliant ride, even for you guys as actors and people who have been directing it. Even the little small short films you've been associated with, we keep seeing on YouTube, whether it is on Article 377, otherwise also, it's been a wondrous journey for you. One more thing about the woke generation that you're talking about is obviously the Me Too movement, and you are a lot in the news because of this one particular interview where you narrated about this one incident about the casting couch. Despite so much of a furor in the industry, not just in India, but also in the West, this thing is happening. This is very serious.
Yeah. No, and I think that particular incident that I did talk about was a phone call I'd got. And I think the reason I got so mad was this, that, I mean, firstly, what you're saying only, and then I was like, बॉस के मी टू के बाद तुम्हारी हिम्मत कैसी हुई है ये बोलने की मुझे, so I was literally like screaming at him. And my other thing was that somehow I was very like, you can't web में ये सब मत लाओ. Like I got so progressive of web. I said तुम लोग ये गंदगी web में मत लाओ, and also because I was I had that option of screaming at him. Like had this happened 7 years ago or something, I might have just hung up on him without screaming. But I also realized that I could scream, so I wanted to use that power and just show him his place.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So, if given a choice as an actor, you said you're very protective about the web genre, web series space that India is currently in. It's only booming. OTT platforms or films or theatre, what will your choice be in order of appearance?
So I honestly can't choose between OTT and films, honestly, because I feel that while like both of them are very special to me, OTT is special because everything that I have today in terms of my professional success or fame or whatever is because of OTT for sure. So that I can't, and I'm a believer of it. Like I believe in the democracy of the internet. I believe in this. I believe in some really good content that's coming out because of because of web. So that but films is why like films is what we've grown up watching. Films is what we like want to become actors for. You know, that's why we come to Bombay. You know, this and that. So that charm is always there. But now, because of web, I think for me it's very clear that now I'm not going to do a film only because it's a film. Like now I'll do a film because I want to do that story, or want to work with those people, or want to play that part. I mean, it can't just be because film hai to kar lo. You know, that thing is gone now, which is I think a great thing. Theater, the things, theater for me is, so most actors, you start with theater and then move on to camera work. With me, it was the opposite. I started with camera. And it's only when I moved to Bombay after 2-3 years of having done camera work, then when I moved to Bombay, because I had a lot of free time on my hand, that's how I got into theater. Then of course I started enjoying it, but I still feel like I haven't mastered it or anything. Like I'm far more nervous doing
you
a
get the
play.
pangs in front of the live audience.
Yeah, and and also because, you know, camera is this much, right? Or max this much or whatever. Like you're acting from your face. Theater, mein you're acting from your whole body. Even the last person sitting in the last row of the auditorium needs to be able to hear you, to be able to see you, to be able to feel what it is you want him or her to feel. So, वो ना मुझे उसमें बहुत डर लगा. मतलब I am a little conscious of that. So I think somewhere I don't enjoy theater as much. But I do like the concept of theater, and I like doing theater, but just not as much as OTT or films.
And talking about web series, when I was chatting with Sumit, you came online and you said, Tripling season 3 कब आ रहा है? Everybody is asking that question. कब आ रहा है भाई? When is it coming?
नहीं पता ना, that's what I was telling him. I said, now is the time to be writing Tripling 3. You know, just go and start writing Tripling 3.
But he's been watching all the mats. That's what he's doing at home. He's watching the mats. मैं carpet धो रहा हूँ इससे.
अभी तो थोड़ा उनको he'll have to do his wife की सेवा.
Yes.
Yeah.
But everybody is waiting for Tripling. Obviously, 4 more shots is going to be out in no time. And on the film front, what are you looking forward to?
So I had a couple of projects actually, but one of them was supposed to start in April and the other was supposed to start in May. And we had our dates fixed and all of that. So obviously the April one is pushed. I don't know what's going to happen with the May one. And then I don't know what's going to happen with the April. I mean, you know, so now all the dates are suddenly, they'll have to be rescheduled. Like we have to look at them. So I don't know, honestly. And nobody's planning because everybody realizes there's no point planning right now. And also with our field, the thing is planning would mean you have to give money in advance. You have to book a studio. You have to book a location. You have to book equipment and people and all of that. So there's a lot of money involved. So if that gets cancelled, then it doesn't make sense. So I think everybody right now is just waiting. You know, they were in a state of limbo work-wise. So everybody's just waiting to see kya hota hai. And then when there's a little clarity, then they'll, you know, probably start making plans. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Everything is up in the air.
Okay, before I let you go, quick recos. Because you are spending most of your time in your living area, on your couch, watching maybe Netflix or Amazon Prime. Yeah. What is the content that you're watching? What do you recommend? If you have to recommend 3 of them, what would you recommend?
So I watched Parasite finally. I missed it in theater, so I watched that. That if you haven't seen it, if you are like me living under a rock, please watch it right now. Then I also saw this film called, I'll give you 3 films recommendations because I've been watching a lot of films more than series. So I watched Parasite, which is on Amazon. I watched The Platform, which is on Netflix, which is also very, I mean, it's a little dark. And it's a socio-political allegory, but मतलब मुझे तो बहुत पसंद. I really enjoyed it, but I know it can be a little dark for people, and especially in this time. So just make sure you're watching it when you're in a good mood or whatever. And third would be I saw this film called The Report on Amazon, which is about the recently declassified information regarding the 9/11 terror attack, and how the people who were suspected of the attacks were treated. So they've recently declassified all that information, and they've made a film on that. Adam Driver is in it, which was my reason to watch it. And yeah, these 3 films.
And do you like to read? Are you reading something currently because you have all the time?
I'm reading 1Q84, Murakami, which is like this thick book. Which is not finishing only, it's a trilogy. Khatam hi ho rahi hai. Khatam hi nahi ho rahi. Yeah.
Right. I like your reading Murakami. I'm reading Murakami myself. It was very
Which
nice
one?
talking to you. I'm reading Men Without Women.
Men
So,
Without Women. Okay. Nahi
so
padhi
it's
maine.
yeah. It's been really lovely chatting with you, Maanvi. Thank you so much. And you
Thank
have
you.
given your records, but I'm sure most of your fans are going to be heading out for Amazon Prime as four more shots is going to be out there in that
Yay!
time. So we're all looking forward to that. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Dia. Bye. Lovely talking.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.